What is up, YouTube? You are witnessing the grand debut of the H-Man and his world known as H-Man Gaming Gameland. As obvious by the title, this channel's purpose is to play and review gaming and gaming related subjects. But, without further ado, here is my very first video. Please excuse the vid if you find quality or charisma very lacking, as I promise both of those will improve as I make videos. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you and enjoy the video. So get comfortable, take a pee break, and get that bag of popcorn out of the microwave as we are about to begin. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And now, without further ado, I bring to you the creepypasta Banjo-Kazooie. Whoa. Important note, for all of my videos, I will separate them into different segments. Or series, I guess. But this video will fall into the series of what I like to call poopypastas, in which I read creepypastas, which, in case you didn't know, are fabled horror stories spanning from anywhere to your grandmother's haunted pair of panties, or to video game stories. But in this segment, I take jabs and further humiliate, and I quote creepy, end quote, pastas. But the only and golden rule to this segment is it must be screamer free, because I hate those just as much as you do, and if you like them, then I hate you. But going on to the video right now. I remember when I was about 8 or 9, that age when you live the innocent life without a care in the world. I spent a good amount of my childhood time playing video games. Hell, I even made friends with other kids who played it too. I knew a kid back then who was named Tony. He told me a story about some strange thing that happened to him while playing Banjo-Kazooie. He gave me specific instructions of what to do and what would happen. He spoke of Mad Monster Mansion and the portrait of Grunty that was in there. He said that if I crashed into the portrait using the fly pad, it would summon a monster. As a frightened little child, I believed him. This lasted until one day when I summoned up the courage to try what he told me many years ago. Nothing happened. It was just a lie he told me. A little story he believed. So I did it again and again, countless times, knowing that it was all fake, with nothing to worry about. I found it amusing. I'm not sure why. So I would crash into it over and over again, going to the same place where the monster would show up. It never did. That lone pipe outside the mansion was always empty. There was never anything more or anything less. Of course, not everything is predictable. Not everything follows the same routine. I tried it again one day, not too long ago. Well, let's just say that things took a turn for the worst. You hear these stories and do not think anything of them. Oh, they were just stories. It doesn't matter. It will be alright, they say. Of course, this time it did it. I almost broke a tear from how terrified I was. I went into the room where Napper was. It was empty and quiet. Nothing but a huge table and some chairs. I climbed to the top of the table, got aboard the fly pad, and I mashed the B button facing Grunty's portrait. The bear and bird duo flew into the portrait with the big crash as expected, but this time a different noise I heard was there. It sounded like someone had broken a bone, almost as if there was literal pain. I did not think anything of it, so I left the room as normal. Heading towards Mumble's skull, I came across the pipe with the jiggy inside, but the oddest thing happened. Banjo seems to have fallen underneath the level. I thought I had glitched the game or something, which I had before with other N64 games. That was until I realized his legs were crawling through the small hole the pipe was. He was crawling at the ground, not making a noise, not even music. He was just flailing his arms wildly as he slowly was dragged inside. Frightened, I dropped my controller and backed away from the TV. Next thing I know, it showed the inside of the pipe. Banjo looked fine. He was just standing in the middle of the pipe, looking around as usual. The music, although, was a little distorted, as if it played him backwards. But it could not be more than a freaky glitch, right? Slowly, reaching for my controller without taking my eyes off of the screen, I saw a giant dark hand fall from the ceiling. I screamed, and Banjo followed suit. It dragged him up into the ceiling, almost like the wall masters from Ocarina of Time. The sounds of bones cracking was heard. Banjo screamed in a voice that sounded as if his throat was filled with blood, and he was experiencing unspeakable true pain. The music slowed itself and turned to static. The screen switched angles to show higher up in the pipe. The hand pulled him further up, slowly and painfully. As it got closer to the screen, I could just see the hand gripped around his neck, nearly tearing Banjo into two. It was as if his head would pop off at any moment. I could not believe what I was seeing. Banjo flailed around as the hand dragged him up into the darkness. Eventually, the screen went completely dark. Shortly after, the game over screen transition occurred. However, the background with the witch's face was red. Surely this could not be real. I had to be dreaming, but somehow I knew I was not. I was frozen in my place, with beads of sweat falling down from my face. Suddenly, the game started the game over cutscene. Toothy, Grunty, Klungo were all together, except it was definitely different. Toothy was strapped into a chair with Klungo standing at her side. Grunty was slowly cutting into Toothy's arm, dissecting her like flesh piece of meat. The screams from Toothy were painful to hear as her head shook violently in agony. Grunty held up the knife and continued to pierce through her arm. After it was cut off, she threw the arm to Klungo. He began to gnaw on it. Grunty's eyes were filled with madness. Wait. No. Madness isn't the word for this. This was true pleasure from causing pain. A fantasy fulfilled. She enjoyed herself with a wicked and sadistic grin. With the knife, she carved into Toothy's stomach. Blood flowed out and organs dropped to the ground, splatting it in a way too realistic for a game to recreate. No way this could be real. I kept telling myself it was not. But it was, and I knew it. Just could not accept it. Grunty held the knife up to her mouth and licked the fresh blood off of it. Satisfied, but still eager for more, she violently stabbed Toothy in the eye and then threw the eye across the room. Leaning towards Toothy's face, she smiled and chanted something quietly as she slowly slit the blade across Toothy's neck. The knife began to slowly drip with the blood of her victim. It faded out to a soundless black screen. The TV was definitely on, but there was nothing on the screen. I stood in place, still too scared to move. I still could not believe what I had witnessed. After a couple of days, I decided to try it again. Surely, no one could sell something like that to the public, right? I went through and crashed into the picture. Nervous, I slowly walked up to the pipe. There was nothing. I stood, waiting, but it did not happen. Everything played as normal. I tried multiple times, but it would not work. Why would it work that one time, but not any other? What came over my game and made it insane? I wish I could have moved and gotten a picture or a video. Anything I could have gotten a shred of proof. I am not asking you to believe me. I just want to share my tale with whoever it may interest. I will keep trying it, this time prepared, and maybe, just maybe, I can get a single photo of what happened that night. Okay, 3 words. What the fuck? You think you feel sorry for yourself? Having listened through all that? I think I feel. I read through that, and I did not enjoy a single second of it. I may be scarred for life now, but oh well. But yep, that was Creepypasta, Banjo-Kazooie. Tune in next time when I torture myself and you reading through more of those stupid stories. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and have a good day.